All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 73. 73, that equals 10. I don't know if that's important for any of those number of people out there, but welcome to episode 73. See, she's looking at me like I'm crazy. Welcome to episode 73 of DAO Talk. This is DAO Talk Weekly. Frisson is back. He was gone last week, but he is back. He has returned. For those who enjoyed having Caden on the pod, I think we're officially going to bring him on. Not next week, because next week's East Denver. Not even sure if we're going to have an episode next week. But after East Denver, there's going to be the quadratic head of DAO Talk, which will include Caden. So looking forward to that. Frisson, CSG, how are you guys this week? Short week, but hello.
Doing amazing. It's airdrop season. Heads down. Focused.
That's why you're dressed like
NFA.
that too, right? Because you're just locked in on the blockchain.
I will, at the cosplay bar tonight, I will be looking to see what's happening with the airdrops and such. I want my product idea of like immediately claim airdrop and then sell immediately to pop off this season. So we'll see.
So your product idea is just what everyone does, but faster.
Yeah, but it would do it automatically. So like I could be at the bar or wherever and it would just do it. And then only the real people are there.
Trust me, I've already poked holes in all of this, but she still wants to do it. So we're gonna let her.
Tried my best.
That sounds so condescending of mine. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it that way.
It's okay. I already told Tommy that his tweet when he was like, I could move out of the US was absolute bullshit. But I didn't call him out on Twitter. So
yeah,
well, and I also
you
clarified
give off
North
big
America.
American vibes. You're not leaving.
He loves
0%
Morgan Wallen.
chance.
Listen, we all had Morgan Wallen in our top 5 this year. So
yeah. Stacey, I actually think that you're cosplaying as a librarian. That's what I've realized. I get strong librarian vibes.
Well, Tommy told me to put the glasses on, but they're just like fake glasses. I could just. Now what am I cosplaying as?
Still librarian.
Tough. Okay.
All right.
Why is that bad?
All right, here we go. We're going into this pod. That was enough. I know the listeners are like, this is stupid. Let's go. Last week we shit on people who knew who the Clash were. This week, I don't know. We're talking about cosplay. Is there anything you wanted to say? If you want to finish your. Okay. We're moving on. All right, I'm sharing my screen. If you're not watching, Frisson is maniacally laughing on silent mute right now. But all right.
Okay. Sorry,
all right, here we go.
I'm unmuting.
So, in news in the DAO world this week, I'm so out of sorts right now. Cross-chain DAOs. If you're watching, you see this nice little promo we have on the Tally Twitter. If you're going to be at ETH Denver and you want a DAO-specific talk from the Tally team, Raf Solari, our CTO and co-founder, will be giving a talk on cross-chain DAOs. That'll be on Tuesday, February 27th, which is about 5-6 days from now at 12:30 p.m. Mountain Time. Go check that one out. I'm actually really interested to see this talk. I hope I can go see it. I'm not too busy doing something else. Should be on a Tuesday, so we won't have the booth. It's going to be a good talk. I haven't seen a lot of content around cross-chain DAOs, so I'm excited to see this one and kind of see what strings are pulled and what gets built from this. Frisson, you have any top of mind things on cross-chain DAOs? Like for someone who hears cross-chain DAO, they have no idea what we're talking about, like what that means.
DAOs are still very single chain, individual chain dependent in general. It's very difficult. Like once your governance is on a particular chain, a lot of the legacy large DAOs that exist today are on Ethereum L1. It's very difficult to interact with the DAO when you're not on that chain. But that's not reflective of the reality we live in today, when you might have your governance tokens on every which chain. Maybe your product is deployed on those chains too, and you have users with your governance token over there on those chains doing stuff. You want them to be able to participate in governance. Plus, maybe you don't want to pay, $17 to vote. Who knows? I mean, yeah, I don't like paying $17 to vote. And so, we want people to be living in a world where governance is chain agnostic, but still retains all of the beautiful, secure, and decentralized and on-chain properties that Tally supports. So, we have some ideas about how to do that. Maybe more than ideas.
Oh, that was a hint. for those who didn't see Frission's face. His eyebrows went up. So go check that talk out. We'll also probably talk about it post ETH Denver, and we'll link the recording for that as well, because that will be recorded. Not sure if it'll be live, but it will be recorded. Some other market general news, which is kind of how we're structuring the beginning of the pod. Coinbase has just been killing the game the past year, and like since it's been, since it's existed. But they've just been having W after W these past couple weeks. I didn't know they were launching in France, but I saw this tweet. Frisson, do you have any context on Coinbase launch? The tweet is Coinbase launch event in France, or launch evening in France. It looks like it's at like a palace with a bunch of crypto bros, another major crypto player setting up in Paris. I'm not like too particularly educated on like the nuances of crypto in the French world. But I'm assuming, because I got this from Frission's likes, that Frisson understands the context of it. So I want to hear it.
Surely you wouldn't like something without knowing the context.
Right? Oh shit!
Yeah,
I walked into that one. I walked us into a trap.
It's not crypto unless it comes from a particular region of France. Then it's just like sparkling finance.
Titled episode right there.
Yeah. No, I just like it's Coinbase's like speed of shipping is unfathomable to me. Like, as someone who's worked in a similar sized company to Coinbase, like, which was well run and shipped a lot, like I can't believe what they're doing. Like, they're so dialed in, like new countries, new products, new perps, randomly participating in the liquid death advertising competition. Like, it's crazy. They're killing the game.
I hope one day we get a book or something, or maybe one of us ends up working there when, Tally, becomes so big that we just can fuck around and like do cool shit. And like, I love, like, I see this, like we're talking about the liquid ad, or not liquid ad, the liquid death sponsorship, which we'll get to in a second. But I feel like they're moving so fast. And I feel like there has to be like a deep level of trust from the marketing side and just from like top down. So I would love, I don't know if you guys know anything about the inside of how Coinbase works. But it seems like you're firing on all cylinders, and like we're seeing the result of that in real time. Because like Frisson said, they're shipping so incredibly fast and they're so in tune with the ecosystem. Like there's no way they're not like this operating at a very, very high level. So I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on that as well, or I can just jump into the liquid death ad. All right, no thoughts, only watching. So if you're not familiar with this ad campaign experiment, whatever you want to call it, liquid death. I'm just going to read Liquid Death tweets. Yes, this is real. You can really go to eBay and bid to run your brand's ad on 500,000 Liquid Death cases across the biggest retailers nationwide. Bidding started at 500. So if you've seen a Liquid Death case, it's a water brand. If you're not familiar with it, I think it's just an American company. I'm not sure. It's like a hard punk rock style branding for like canned water. It's pretty interesting, and it's a pretty big water case. And one side of it, they basically made a blank canvas and allowed people to bid on placing their ads there, and Coinbase ended up buying it. I think the final price was $500,000 that they bid on it, and they won it. So we're excited to see that ad like roll out in the next couple of months, hopefully. But the cool thing was, and this is where I think like Coinbase not is killing the game, not just in the fact they are doing cool marketing stunts like this, but they use crypto to pay for it, and they pay for it in stables, and they saved Liquid Death $12,000 in middleman fees, which is why I think like either of these could have gone viral in their own right, but combining them together is pretty epic. It's pretty cool to see. And then a tweet from Benji from Optimism. How are people glossing over the fact that Coinbase just saved a mainstream company $12,000 on a $500K purchase because they used stables and avoided middleman fees? Do you not see what the attractive point of larger valued transactions being settled this way can unearth? It's inevitable.
That last sentence, I feel like I need to really unpack.
Yeah, but, yeah, you get the gist of it.
Yeah, no, like he's right though. Like, if I'm like a credit card company or a bank, I am like shitting my pants, honestly. Like Coinbase is like, yeah, we're doing this ad. By the way, if you did it any way other than the way we did it, it would cost $12,000 more. And you can use our thing right now if you want.
It's genius.
Like, that's honestly, this is similar. I don't remember if we covered Anatoly from Solana's tweet about how they saved several $100,000 in credit card fees from sales of the what's the Solana phone called? The Saga.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called.
I forgot what it's called, but the Solana phone for people just checking out using USDC on Solana in Shopify instead of using a credit card. Like that's crazy. Like the impact that those fees have on like the structure of commerce in the world is very significant. Like, yeah.
I saw
super base.
I saw Discover Card and Capital One are exploring a merger today, and there was some like talks about like it's going to increase credit card fees for not only users but for merchants as well. And
no, it's not, because Coinbase is coming in.
It juxtaposes it perfectly.
Hide your fees.
Yeah,
Coinbase is coming.
We talked about it a couple weeks ago with the Obama meme where he's like shitting on crypto, but you couldn't tell because he's like, it's like having a Swiss bank in your pocket. We're like, that's a bad thing. I mean, it's a bad thing for like these people entrenched in the power systems, but not for us little guys.
And I'm not just trying to like show Coinbase here, right? Like, you know, it's interesting. Like the payments piece is like very tangible and feels very close. Like it feels like the UX and the distribution is like close enough to really start like, playing a role. What Tally does is like a little bit farther away, but coming quickly as well, where the cost, like people don't understand, if you haven't like worked on the inside, like in the guts of a large corporation or entity, government office, nonprofit, the cost to simply operate is tremendous, right? There's another tweet that I'm not sure if we covered, but Kathy Wood from ARK Investments, she was tweeting about how you could monitor the like the flows in and out of the Bitcoin ETFs and like essentially like report on what's going on, exactly what assets are backing them, blah, 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 like just all the time using Dune. And she was linking to like a Dune dashboard. And like, what is the impact of this for, a company or for an organization that's operating as a DAO where like all of the resources are on chain and the process by which people execute changes to fund initiatives or build products or like pay for things or whatever, like all happens on chain in like a provably verifiable manner that anyone can participate in. Like the amount of resources at like a large organization that go into simply helping everyone know what the current state is are incredible. Like the last company I worked at, when I left, there was 1,000 employees. I think 200 of them, their job description could have been described that way. So 20% of the employees were basically like TLDR. Their job was to make sure that like other people at the company and then external stakeholders like regulators could just know what's going on in the company. So that's like the business equivalent of credit card fees. It's like there's a huge opportunity to drive those down. And if you do using the blockchain and Tally and on-chain governance, theoretically, like the entire global economy could operate materially more efficiently, right? Like what's the impact of that?
I don't know if you can quantify that, right? Which is the value prop, right? All right. One last, this is kind of a good transition into DAO world. I just wanted to shout out Winnie, who's doing chipped. I don't know if Frisson's seen this, but me and CHG got chipped together in Istanbul back at DevConnect. Essentially, it is acrylic nails, like one nail that you put on your finger, and you can make it look normal if you're a guy. Like I've done it and it looked just like another fingernail with an NFC enabled chip on it that ties to your wallet. Then you can digitally verify when you meet someone. Super easy. The tech gets better and better each day. I've been thinking about it more from a sense of seeding DAO communities. We've kind of talked about this with Zora in the past, like how Zora allowed or put the initial gas fee or the initial mint fee not on the creator but the first person who mints it, kind of incentivizing people to get on chain or like help people get on chain who maybe not necessarily would be before. I just love this project for what it does in regards to like kind of putting things into the real world and meeting people where they are. I think us crypto people don't a lot of times don't meet. Like today I tweeted like, why is crypto so hard to buy? And a lot of people responded just like, it's us nerds building products for nerds. And I mean that with love. But I loved seeing these projects that are, you know, when he's into the fashion world, into like that world. And just like, we need more people taking their passions and their ideas that can be run on crypto rails and then forcing your way in a positive way, not like without consent, forcing your way into those ecosystems and into those arenas, and kind of showing them like what's possible. Like I think a lot of these industries are ripe for innovation and they want innovation, but maybe they're too big to like actually do those experiments. So I think I would encourage myself, one, and like everyone listening, to like figure out what you're passionate about and find ways to integrate that or integrate, you know, the DAO tech, the DAO ethos, the crypto ethos into those industries. So really cool stuff. And let's try to get Frisson shipped in Denver. I would love to see it. All right. Moving into some more DAO news. DAO retail should seriously be a thing. Frisson, this is also from your likes. I love this word, but I'm not 100% sure like what Anne means by it. It's from Anne Brody7 on Twitter. I'll love to see she and Frisson's thoughts on like, when you hear DAO retail, what do you think? There's no wrong answers here. Suji, you're first. You can't rely on Frisson for this.
I have no idea.
Okay.
I have no idea.
The librarian has no idea.
Frisson.
No. I don't know what DAO retail means.
Listen. Okay.
Damn, guys.
People be saying things on Twitter. People be saying things. And this is one of those
This is important. That's good then.
No
like if
idea
you're not understanding what it says, then yeah, like we should be talking about it.
Meet me where I am.
I just like the vibes, you know, of DAO retail.
Me doesn't know what it means either.
Wow.
But
You
it's
know what?
provocative.
DAOs
No
are
one
just
knows
internet communities, aren't they?
No one knows what it means, but it's provocative.
Yes.
All right. Well.
Okay, I'm gonna
the DAO
actually
retail
take a
segment.
stab at this. You can always count on me to have some like boomer over an overly analytical take. So here it comes. We talked about like Owaki's tweet about like the surface area of DAOs being like very understandable for people to come in outside and from outside and contribute, right? And kind of there being places and ways for them to engage. It's like kind of what I think about with DAO retail. It's like, okay, so like what's the difference between retail and like, you know, like a you know, B2B or like you know, like warehouse level products, right? It's like the retail is what's exposed to the consumer at the end. You know what I mean? So it's like really there's this whole supply chain, like merchandising supply chain that happens, you know, behind the scenes. And today, like contributing to organizations, this is kind of like that. You have to like get behind the door, which is like a job offering or something, and then you get like entered into the like behind the scenes supply chain of like how stuff actually happens. Right. So it's like one of the promises of DAOs is that, you know, you can sort of make it more of a retail experience, right? To understand what's going on and also participate.
Do you feel like Tally self-serve Tally plays a role in that?
Yeah, absolutely. Like part of this is anyone can start their own organization easily, right? Like that's one of the things, like one of the underrated, you know, innovations that has unlocked a lot of like societal benefit is just the idea of the limited liability corporation, right? And that allowed anyone in the world to just like CSU's like, oh, now we're on a topic I know a lot about.
Oh, do you want to know about my 48 LLCs?
She's like, actually, it's really easy to launch an LLC. Like, oh my God,
It's
you have
that
no
easy.
idea how many I have.
Jesus Christ, guys.
It makes it easy for anyone to like launch a corporation where, you know, they can provide a product or service, you know, where it's not you know, they individually aren't 100% liable. It separates their, you know, what they're building from themselves as a person, right? It's like, you know, Tally makes it really easy to like do the same thing, but in an on-chain way. We sort of like operationalize something as an organization and let it out into the world and let anyone see what's going on in it and use it, right? I think just Tally's interface is really key for that. Just like I do this all the time, partially because of my job, but also because I'm a DAO contributor, is like, how does this DAO work and what's going on in it right now? Tally allows you, theoretically, like everything being transparent in a DAO is true if it's on chain, but like the reality is there's a skill gap where most people won't actually be able to understand what's going on, you know, by like looking at the latest block in the block explorer. And so, I think Tally is a huge part of this.
I think about DAOs and like most of the big DAOs, maybe even all of them are like traditionally crypto native protocols that end up decentralizing. But I feel like we haven't seen a lot of organizations that are coming in with the like when I talk to my friends and I teach them about DAOs, educate them about DAOs or crypto, it's like, what's the value add for a DAO? Like, how do we get people thinking about, and maybe this is kind of one and the same, like thinking about DAOs from like first principles. Like instead of just starting a business and starting an organization in a traditional sense, like you go to Shopify, you get an LLC, you start selling stuff online. How do we get it to the place where a DAO is a DAO or decentralized organization that is run on Tally or some other tooling platform, whatever it may be, as the first step or the first thing you think about? Besides education, is it just an infrastructure thing? I feel like the infrastructure is there. Is it just like a couple more years of like a vibe shift? I don't know. Like, what do you guys think?
I think, yeah.
I'm sorry, the way you said that was just so...
I think it requires some degree of vibe shift, but also some degree of like what we said about Tally self-serve and what like we're passionate about governance, and then what you just said about Winnie's product Chipped. Like she's passionate about fashion, and it brings crypto to this like level where it's so obvious the use case for it without even thinking like, oh, I'm using crypto right now. The same, well, I think eventually will happen with organizations or businesses where it's just like it makes the most sense to do it this way, just like it really makes the most sense to wear an NFT nail instead of trying to give out your card to everyone. So yeah, both the vibe shift and also the like product actually improving over time.
Yeah, I think it goes hand in hand with what we're talking about with Coinbase as well. Like little stuff like that doesn't feel like you're looking at that. Like the Coinbase saving middleman fees is not something where you're like, oh, that's crypto. It's just like, oh yeah, that's saving me money. That's saving me time. You know?
Yeah, it goes all the way like top to bottom with Coinbase trying to like onboard all these users. But even though like that's amazing that they're doing so much work in that department, and they're also doing all this like legal and regulatory stuff, but you also think like my parents probably are more likely to get an NFT nail that helps them out at a conference than be convinced by Coinbase to get a Coinbase account, which same end goal.
Agreed. All right, let's move into the Arbitrum ecosystem. Tweet from Sai, which I think we've highlighted on the pod before. It sounds familiar, and I'm sure Frisson knows who it is. $2 billion worth of ARB, which is around 11% of total supply, is going to be unlocked in 24 days. It's the first unlock since the initial airdrop, and it will double the current circulating supply of ARB, of the ARB token. Is this bullish or bearish for Arbitrum? Frisson, what do you think? Bullish or bearish? You're the ARB delegate, so I'm going to you for ARB questions.
Well, so first of all, I'm focused on providing governance utility to the Arbitrum DAO, not the price of ARB. Thank you.
Fair.
Second of all,
Does that cover me with HR?
I'll just launch an LLC and then I'll be good.
If you wrap your LLCs by other LLCs, you can't get got.
Then it's good. Then you're good to go. Yeah, the answer to this question depends on whether it's priced in. How priced in is it? It's even more priced in than that. Y'all know that copy pasta.
Yeah,
It's really good. Actually, I should quote tweet with with that copy pasta. Imagine how priced in it could even be. It's even more priced in than that. Yeah, I think I don't know. Like, I think we've seen a lot of these unlocks be like neutral. In other words, like effectively priced in. I'm just speaking off the cuff about that. Like, I haven't looked closely into it. But this having like big unlocks 1 year after the airdrop is like a very common, standard now, where like that's like the first year of vesting hits after that year, and then it's like linearly vesting after that for investors and employees and stuff like that. And early contributors. So I think like these types of things are well understood by the market, and are probably having an impact on the price now. Whether that's impact is sort of like fully appreciated or underappreciated or overappreciated, I don't know. I think it's bullish for Arbitrum that like the chain is still going strong and going, has more usage than ever, and the DAO is funding a lot of cool stuff and shipping upgrades. So yeah, I think that's bullish.
Yeah, I realized it was posed more as a financial question. I didn't necessarily mean it that way. So thank you for clarifying. All right, HiDAO launched on Tally last week. We released a episode with Reza. Again, the first ever 2-time DAO Talk interviewee on the pod. We got a clip of it out if you want to go watch it. It has kind of like the best bits of it. If you don't want to listen to the whole episode, but go check that one out. We'll link it in the show notes as well. And then go check if you got any tokens from the airdrop. And once you get them, if you have them, make sure to delegate. Whether you delegate to yourself or delegate to someone in or one of the delegates who is campaigning, you can go check that out on the Tally website on, I think it's gov.hi.com. I'll make sure I get that full link in the show notes as well, so you can go check that out, and go check out the scary little DMT elves that they're using as their main branding. But we're excited for HiDAO, and I'm sure we'll be talking about it more as they start to put some more proposals on chain and doing a lot more stuff with ungovernance. I love the way they're structuring their DAO, and they're thinking about it in a very thoughtful way. Team is full of giga brands, so we're excited with that. And it's also one of the best branded DAOs in the space. So they're kind of firing on all cylinders there. All right. We've gone to our favorite part of the pod. There's no way I can read this meme. It is a copy pasta. I don't know who wants to take a shot at this, but there's a copy pasta going around ETH Denver, because that is, once again, I feel like we've said it. This will be the last time we probably talk about ETH Denver. It's coming next week. Yeah. Does anyone even want to try and attempt to describe this copy pasta? CHG, I know you love this one.
I love this one, and I think I'm prepared to read it. I think I can get it out very quickly. Okay.
Go for it.
This is due from Sable Lab. Don't find me in Denver this year. I need a full focus to ship products, and every second matters. Got no time to deal with crying, babies on the plane, who shortened my lifespan by 5 years, or U.S. immigration officer who, despite I visiting back and forth more than 50 times, is convinced that I somehow visiting to illegally stay because I'm Korean. That's 5 minutes I have to focus not to get deported on arrival, and that 5 minutes I'm missing for work and for shipping product. 5 minutes is not just 5 minutes, 60 seconds, and that's 60,000 milliseconds. And that number is bigger than users combined in most apps for the past 5 years. That is the power of compound interest, which is why I'm spending 20 minutes writing this tweet, because then I am starting at minus 240,000 milliseconds, number matched only by airdrop farmers in the new L2. This wasted time is all part of the plan to make myself grind harder and sharper to ship products, with the salute emoji.
Great execution.
I feel like he's somehow composed like 5 copy pastas with that.
This is amazing. Yeah, you got to respect the paragraphical copy pasta.
Also, there's something like more harsh about saying "Don't find me in Denver this year."
That's like how NFT Chance has the like, if I want to work with you, you will know.
Oh my God. I tell him all the time, like, bro, that bio, I think about it every day. It's in all caps and it says, if you want to work with me, if I want to work with you, you will know. Because people just like DM him asking him for shit and to work. I'm like, dude, that's kind of a good problem to have, but it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
All
Don't
right,
find me in Denver this year.
don't find me in Denver. Yeah. Well, I'll be there, but don't come looking. All right, 2 more memes because this week has just been fire. Maggie Love from SheFi got engaged this week and she posted about it on Twitter and someone responded or quote tweeted, "It is airdrop season. Time is limited. We need to focus. Don't spam my feed with bullshit like this." And then the man that she got engaged to, John Woo, responded, "This is unironically like my favorite response to this or my favorite tweet. I love it. I love leaning into it."
So good.
And it went turbo viral. It's pretty good. Solid.
It's if you read Maggie's post, it's like the most wholesome thing possible. Like it's like the least hateable. Like
Yeah.
it's like just so wholesome. This response is so good.
So
Dude,
good.
It's it's that bull market vibes again. It's cutthroat out there. Yeah.
But for real,
That
congrats
is-
to
that
Congrats,
is-
John.
congrats, yeah.
Another
We
crypto
mean-
power couple is formed.
Yeah. Watch out. Watch out. All right. We'll end it with one from yours truly, me, Officer Tommy.
I think we have some crypto power couples in the pipeline on this podcast, given recent successes on various crypto platforms.
That
That's
we
true.
do, baby. I
All
was
right.
like, you're familiar with ED, right?
Thank God it's at the end. All right, Ethereum Denver abbreviates to ED. Just saying. I was literally sitting at this desk like an hour ago, and I was just like, I like stared at my wall, and I was like, oh wait, yeah, that is true. And I just tweeted it. I'm like, all right. It only got 3 likes, which I'm sad. I feel like it's a
insanely
banger.
underappreciated tweet.
What do you think that means about the people who attend Ethereum Denver?
Dude, Logan responded and was like, I wonder what the over-unders of crypto men who have ED that are attending ETH Denver.
That's way too literal of a response to this tweet.
Yeah. But hey, I put it
I
out
feel
there.
like I need to respond to that and just be like, relax, Logan.
I responded like plus or minus 100%.
Listen, you're allowed
yeah.
to like things just for the vibes. You don't have to know what it means.
Goddamn
yeah,
right.
it's just ED. Yeah. ED is whatever you want it to stand for.
We need DAO pee pee poo poo. Will
Oh
you
my
like
gosh.
that
All
tweet?
right. We're gonna end this podcast.
That's
Thank
enough.
you. That's enough, dude. This has been episode 73 of DAO Talk Weekly. We're gonna try and record a live episode next week while we're in Ethereum Denver, but no promises. It might probably just be 2 of us. There's no way I think we get all 3 of us together. We have so much planned. So if you don't hear from us next week, you'll hear from us the week after for episode 74 with our 4th co-host. It's going to be a Hydra. Is a Hydra of 3? I don't know. It'll be 4 heads of DAO Talk going forward. Check out everything we talked about. We linked in the show notes below. Remember to subscribe to the Tally newsletter. We didn't talk about it this episode, but it is going out each week. Join. I think we're at like 3,500 of the most plugged in people in the DAO ecosystem with the Tally newsletter. Stay up to date on more of the minutia, the on-chain proposals, things that are getting passed on Tally and other platforms. We'll see you next week for episode 74, maybe in 2 weeks. See you in ETH Denver. You can come find me. I'll give you permission to find me at ETH Denver for some sweet merch. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.